Welcome to the Cold One with the Boys podcast, where we bring you new content creators.
Well, you're supposed to say every week, and then I'm supposed to say it after you.
Why?
That was the whole discussion.
No.
I don't know. You were like,
is it supposed to sound like an echo?
yeah, you're supposed to be like, we bring you new content creators every week, and I was being like, every week. Like, that was the whole discussion. Now you've messed it up twice in a row.
Okay, well, we're going to start over, but we're not going to edit this out, so here we go. Welcome to the Cold One with the Boys podcast, where we bring you new content creators every week.
Every week. Just like that.
That sounds pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're your hosts, Asen and Nathan.
Hello.
And you're supposed to say Asen and Nathan.
No.
Oh, okay. It doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that. Only when I want to do it, okay? Calm down.
All right. Well, this is episode 55, titled Mary Jane Watson. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Electric
just Mary
lettuce.
Jane. Why is it electric?
Or devil's lettuce, whatever. It's all the same. How many words can we come up with for that same word? There's so many.
You're like comedian Theo Vaughn. He just makes up fucking random ass words out of nothing.
Dude, it's been called electric lettuce for I don't know how long.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is episode 55 titled Mary Jane with special guest CasualLuxury. We talk about the effects of the devil's lettuce comparatively to alcohol, since Nathan's never tried it.
I'm a noob.
He's a noob. We had to teach him for the first 30 minutes of this podcast. We also talk about the hopeful death of Fortnite and Bungie's future without the Halo franchise. So we'll see how that goes. But it was a real kick in the knackers. This episode. So let's sit back, get in a Tilly, and open a cold one.
Yeah. I just wanna crack it, do it with that boys, yeah.
No more baby mamas, no more kids to watch, cause I got babysitters. Now it's time for licking, come on, give it to me, cause it's my escape. Now it's time to annihilate, let my troubles all die away. I'm on a diet, Please do not try this, cause do not invite it. I'm dripping in go call the Midas. This night I was excited, it got me reignited. I've been waiting so long I can't fight it, but now I'm Mike Tyson inside, I'm on fire. It ain't nothing like a true bro. Brotherhood worth more than a huge blow. We're two hoes, two back with a new
Still gonna have to find like a good spot for this footrest, by the way.
You don't have to do the first countdown anymore, right?
Hey, it's tradition, all right? I can't help it.
Just
We were doing it.
idiot.
What? Hey, gives you something to talk about.
Yeah, I guess. It's a good little opener.
It's like habit. It's one of those things we did from the beginning and it's just stuck. I'll probably do it until the end of time now, so get over it, I guess.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
Dude, I'm just glad that we're not in the middle of negative 51 degree Fahrenheit weather right now. That's what I'm happy about.
Is it the ice age down there where you are, Casual?
It's not too bad. I mean, like today I was outside without a jacket, so I mean, not too bad. I won't complain. It was pretty bad. Was it Monday? I want to say my car door. It took a little leverage to get her open.
I was in the ER all day Monday. Well, most of the day Monday. So
Oh,
I don't
no, what happened?
I had a kidney stone, my first kidney stone ever, and
God.
it was the worst experience of my life for sure.
Dude, fun fact, I passed a kidney stone in a urine test one time.
Ooh.
I had no idea.
Like you didn't have the pain at all?
No, not at all.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, no, that's what the lady at the urgent care told me. She was like, "You didn't have any idea?" I was like, "I had no clue." A lot of beer.
Holy crap. Yeah. Dude.
So let's be real. Let's be real. How much weed do you smoke so you don't feel any pain?
It's legal now. I don't have to worry about it. No, dude, actually, funny story. I smoked for the first time in 8 years a couple of months ago. And oh my God, dude, like I have not been that high, and I can't remember. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like I felt like I was in the Rugrats, like I was in a cartoon.
Oh my god.
No, I
That's
swear
how-
to God. It's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
how like because I mean I've smoked a handful of times in my whole life, but when I was living in Seattle last year, like the shit they have in stores where it's legal is insane. Like it's like fucking engineered to fuck your life for like 5 hours.
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like back in high school, I guess we were just getting dirt weed. Like I don't know, like it was-
Probably.
Getting there fucking Reggie, dude.
oh my god, dude, my brother, like I smoked with my brother and my cousin, and like at the time, like I was like, man, I don't know. My girlfriend will get really mad at me. And they talked me into it, right? It didn't take a whole lot of talking, but
Right.
I just said, all right, we'll do it. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take like 3 hits. So I ended up like smoking half the blunt with them, and like next thing I know, dude, like I seen Reptar coming through the door, and I'm sitting over there just laughing, and like I get really giggly like when I get high, and like, oh my god, like my brother's just laughing at me because like he's been smoking for so long now, like it doesn't phase him one bit. So he's just
Right.
like kind of high, and I'm over here on Mars, like just laughing about everything. The world's spinning. And like I ended up going inside and sitting on the couch for a good 45 minutes, like knowing that we're fixing to go home and I better sober up. So we went by Taco Bell, got some food, and I got home, and she knew the minute I walked through the door. Yeah, I was in trouble for like 3 days. It was a bad deal. It was fucking worth it.
That's one of the best moments of getting high, and obviously not with like a police officer because that would be horrible. But the best part of getting high almost is like when you go talk to your friend that you know he's gonna know you're high, but you're gonna still try to convince him that you're not for some reason. You just like go and you're like, how you doing? You know?
Yeah, dude, I'll walk a straight line for you right now.
Yeah, like why would you even?
Why
say
would you
that?
do that ever? You wouldn't. No.
I've never been high in my life. Like the only thing I've ever been on is like painkillers, and that's when they've been like prescribed to me. Like I've never taken drugs or anything. The only thing I've ever done is gotten way too boozed up, and I don't even do that anymore because it's just not worth it the next morning to me. Well, I say I don't do it anymore. I do it about once a year, and that's enough. But like, what is the difference between being high and being drunk? Because I know when you're drunk, the room spins, you get a little crazy, you laugh at stupid shit. Is it the same thing?
I think it depends, right? I mean, like it depends on like it affects different people differently, but like one of the main things, in my opinion, is there's no hangovers. That's a big plus.
That'd be nice.
Like, I have been so drunk multiple times, more times than I'm willing to admit, that you know you got 1 foot off the bed, like got it on the ground. That shit doesn't work. The room's spinning.
Right.
You're miserable, dude. So drunk you can't pass out. That never happens with pot. Like with pot, like for me anyway, like if I haven't smoked in a long time, like I get super animated. Like everything's just funny to me, and like my senses are very heightened, like to a crazy degree. Like food tastes 10 times better. Like
I don't need that. I'm fat enough.
oh my god, like, especially candy. Like I'm a sucker. Like I have
yeah,
like
dude.
no sweet tooth, like ever. Like I
Yeah.
would rather have more savory food, you know, like seconds rather than going and getting, you know, some dessert. But
Right.
dude, like when I smoke weed, like that's the first thing. I want ice cream and I want candy immediately. And oh, it tastes so good. Like it's fun. Now there's some people that get paranoid. And
I feel like that
I've
would
just
be
never
me.
been that guy. I'm not a paranoid person. I don't worry about a whole lot. So that doesn't happen
Well-
to me, but I do hear that's a terrible experience.
I've experienced that before, like not normally, but I think the biggest difference here is the like sativa versus indica strands of marijuana, which the sativa is the mind high, indica is the body high.
Correct.
And sativa is the one that makes me paranoid. And I don't enjoy it. I like the body high where everything feels good, everything tastes good. You're just like, you know, you just want to like you take a shit and like the shit is just gonna like it's just gonna be the best feeling shit ever, you know? Like it's one of those.
It's great. Like we had a conversation one time, me and a group of buddies. We went up to my buddy's apartment. It's a 2-story apartment, and we went upstairs to a smoke room, and which was beautiful because it was winter time and it's cold as balls, and you didn't want to be outside. So like we all sit up there and we're passing around a couple joints. You know, everyone's rolling their stuff up, passing it around. And dude, we get, I mean, just blazed out of our mind. Like we're higher than duck balls, dude. It's crazy.
Duck balls, bro.
We literally had a conversation about pins, like ink pins, and how much more
Bics the
important
best,
you look
hands
if
down.
you carry one around you on your person all the time. We had this conversation for like 45 minutes. And like it got down to the details, like the style of the pin and like how that made a difference and this, that, and the other. I mean, like it's such a fun experience to me. I mean, I have a blast. There's no hangovers. It's all benefit to me.
Yeah, you just don't have those conversations normal or drunk.
No.
Like another thing I feel like is, for me, high is just a really, indica anyway, which is the one I enjoy, is just a really relaxed state where your mind is like open and you're just like thinking. While when I'm drunk, I feel like for me, like being drunk is an upper. It like makes me really social and like I want to talk to people. I want to like dance, and I hate dancing. Like just stupid shit like that. But when I'm high, I'm pretty antisocial. I like to listen and just like fucking think and have fun and laugh. Like that's what I do.
Dude, don't you though? Like in like what you were saying, like thinking, like do you not have like the most crazy like deep thoughts? Like I get so deep into my own mind, like places that I think I would never go without it.
Yeah,
I don't need to go into my mind. That'd be a bad deal. I'd get lost.
but
pretty
I
interesting
mean,
parts.
speaking of all that, like the last time I smoked was sativa, and it was the first time I'd ever thrown up from weed. And
You smoked so much you vomited?
no, I didn't even smoke that much. I think it mixed with something I ate. That's the only thing I can think of, because like I don't think marijuana can. I mean, I guess it could make you throw up, but no, the sativa I had, man, like I hated the feeling. Like I got paranoid. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I have that voice in the back of my head. It's like, you're high, dude. You don't need to get paranoid. Calm the fuck down. And then I'm fine. But
Sure.
I was with a friend, and dude, he was just talking at me. Like he couldn't stop talking. He was that kind of high. And I could only process about 3 words at a time.
Oh my god.
The same
And I was
thing.
like, what is he even talking about? I don't even know, but it just keeps coming out of his mouth, man.
Like,
I'm the same as you. I don't I get very social with alcohol, and I'm very like just laid back and chill and just want to listen and just like smile and look around the room when I've smoked pot, and like that's the big difference for me, you know. And like the other thing too is like I don't do stupid stuff like when I smoke weed, because there's a 9 out of 10 chance that I'm not leaving wherever I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. You're not really going to do anything dumb. I'm not going to get out, you know, and go drive, or like I'm not going to get out and like call someone that I shouldn't have called at like 3 a.m. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, so you don't experience
Ruin your
those
life
things. Yeah,
on
yeah,
social media.
exactly.
Yeah, there's a thing that happens with drinking that doesn't happen with being high, which is your mind goes from, nah, don't say that, to, you know, fuck it, say it.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
so.
Dude, I'm still blown away by the fact that you passed a kidney stone and you didn't even know. Like, I don't really want to go into the story too much because it's kind of gross, but like I like to think I have a high pain tolerance. Like, I've had broken bones, I've had like a shattered elbow, I've had like not torn ligaments, but like I don't know how to explain it, like super sore tendons and stuff, and like I've never experienced pain that I couldn't tolerate. But when I was passing this stone on Monday morning, like I woke my wife up because I was doing laps around my bed because I was in so much pain, like I didn't know what to do. And I finally woke her up. I was like, I think my appendix burst, like because that's the only thing I could think of. It was in my lower right of my abdomen. And I was like, Anna, I think we need to go to the emergency room. I think my appendix is about to burst. And so she freaks out. we get to the ER, and I'm sitting in the lobby after giving the people my information, and I'm just leaned up against the wall, like not crying, but like sobbing. Like I had like tears and stuff coming out of my eyes because I was in like pain that I've never felt before. And they finally take me to the back, and they sit me down on this chair, and they start doing their little pre-op visit stuff. And like my blood pressure, I have high blood pressure, and my blood pressure was like 80 over 40 or 50 or something like that. So like I was starting to like bottom out, and so they started freaking out, and they threw me in a bed, hooked me up to a whole bunch of IVs, and then started pushing fluids. And then it took fucking 45 minutes of questions and stuff for them to finally start giving me some pain pills or like painkillers in my IV. And they ended up giving me Dilaudid, which is like a different type of morphine, and it lasted for like 30 minutes, and then the pain came right back. And then they found out it was a stone, wasn't my appendix, and they're like, oh, well, we'll write you scripts for some Percocets, and then you're going home. So I literally just sat in bed in fucking pain all day until it passed. It was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, no, I've heard stories. One of the guys I worked with at my previous job, he actually gets them pretty regularly. He has I don't know what it's called. I don't know what the issue is or the malfunction, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets them regularly, and
that would suck.
Yeah, he tells me it's like one of the worst pains in the world. Basically what they told me is I'm one of the lucky few. Apparently this happens, and I'm not like the first weird case. Like some people pass them and they have no idea. They never had any pain from them. I guess like I just got lucky and it just trickled down the tubes just right, man. I don't know. Because I had zero indication until they told me when they took my sample. Like I didn't hear it drop in there or anything. They were like, you see a little rock in there? It's a kidney stone. I was like, oh.
What the hell?
Yeah, no, because I have a decent pain tolerance, but I definitely would have known from all the stories that I've heard, like yours just then, and everyone else that's ever had them. Like I'm not that kind of a guy. Like I'm not that crazy. I would have definitely known about it, but no, I mean it was a non-issue. Never felt any pain, nothing until that lady told me.
That's so wild. Like literally, the nurse was like, "I've had children and I've had kidney stones." And I would give birth to another child without drugs before I would pass another kidney stone. Like she's like, I'd take that any day of the week. I was like, oh fuck, like it's so bad.
Like I couldn't imagine having to pass them. Like I've sat in a chair and got my whole leg tattooed for 10 hours. I would not want to have a kidney stone from what I've heard.
I don't know. I've never had a tattoo, so I can't compare it to that.
Dude, you should do one, dude. We need to take you and like go roll up a blunt with you, and then take you to get a tattoo right after.
Like
we're gonna introduce you to life.
I've thought about it for so long. My wife has her whole back piece done. Like her whole back is done. She's got a foot tattoo. She's got her dad's what is it, signature on her, like right over her ankle. Like I don't get it. Like he was like sitting there hitting her bone, and I was like, what the hell?
It's a rough spot.
Yeah, and my brothers have them. Well, my younger brother doesn't. My older brother has them. I've never thought of something that I'd want to have stuck to me forever. Like I want to get tattoos. Like I want sleeves, but I just have to have it look right in my mind before I'm willing to stick it on there and spend all the money. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And stick with that as well. Like don't ever go into a tattoo shop not knowing exactly what you want and where you want it. I mean, that's crazy. Like I got my first tattoo when I turned 18 just because I was like, damn it, I'm 18. I'm going to get it. And I don't necessarily regret them, but it's like at the same time, like, could I have done it a little better or got something a little more meaningful? Absolutely. I could have, I got my initials on my triceps. Like that's pretty dumb. I mean, so like when you look back at it, but I mean, I don't know. Like they're not for everyone, but I definitely like anyone that doesn't have one. I definitely recommend knowing exactly what you want.
Right.
And like you said, I mean, to me, like not every tattoo has to have meaning.
Right.
I have tattoos with meaning. I have a memorial on my shoulder, and I did that entire leg sleeve. It's a Polynesian tribal.
That's awesome.
And I looked into a lot of Polynesian tribal stuff before I got it, to like understanding the symbolisms and things like that, and painted the portrait that I wanted painted for my life so far. But I don't necessarily think that every one of them, like I'm going to get a Master Chief tattoo and I'm going to get a League of Legends tattoo. Like it's going to happen.
Right.
Oh man, Master Chief tattoo. Speaking of like getting high and drunk and all that shit, I distinctly remember a party that I think you were at, Nathan,
Uh-oh.
where I was so drunk. That one of the guys that was at the party drove a motorcycle, and I grabbed his helmet, put it on, and I was like, "I'm Master Chief!"
yeah, I remember that. Somebody had a Barney outfit too, dude.
Yeah.
I turned around and Barney was walking through the room. I was like, "All right, dude, where am I?" Like,
that's awesome.
yeah, I remember.
That reminds me so much of my best friend, dude. He has an alter ego when he gets drunk, and it's Thor, dude. And he turns into Thor, and dude, it is the best shit in the world. Oh my god.
That's fucking
like
awesome.
Chris Hemsworth Thor or old Thor.
Like, oh god, no, not that good. Like he's always had on like we grew up gaming together.
Mhm.
And like we're playing original Xbox Live together. And his very first Xbox Live name was It's Lightning. And it was just a randomly generated name that the Xbox gave to him.
Nice.
So he went with it. And so he decided when he did his first name change, like he translated Lightning into Thor, like he was really into that.
Mhm.
So he changed it over to that. And then like as we got older, dude, like this is what's crazy, like growing up at the time that we did, you know, I mean, I graduated in 2010
Mhm.
from high
Same as
school
me.
and oh, okay, nice. And so we were growing up in that time frame where like video games were like really coming into prominence and things like that. Like Xbox Live was a big part of our lives.
Right.
And like it was kind of that way with a lot of us at school. And like it was kind of weird. Like some people would call each other by their gamer tags at school and stuff. And like kids from like surrounding schools, you may not know each other like IRL really well, but you may have played online together.
Mhm.
So when you see each other out in public, like you would call each other by, you know, your gamer tag or something like that. And it sounds pretty weeby, but it happened. And anyway, like he took like full embrace with it. Like when we turned 21, dude, this guy, like when he drinks screwdrivers and he mixes them half and half, half orange juice, half vodka,
Oof.
dude, like cheap vodka, dude, like
Disgusting.
the shit that's going to make you feel like shit the next
Right.
day. And he got, oh my God, we had my 22nd birthday party at my buddy's house, keg party, you know, like really big, like literally there
Mhm.
had to have been like 150 people there.
Holy cow.
And this isn't a big house. This is like a 2, maybe 3-bedroom home. And
Oh my God.
dude, I mean, I'm not kidding you. Like I went outside and then like there wasn't like that many people there. And then when I come back in, like I had to like side skirt it to the keg. Like it was ridiculous. And like I asked everybody, I was like, guys, where did Chris go? And because he came there with me. And they're like, I don't know. I ain't seen him in a while. It's like I go out back and he's out there army crawling like, across the back grass. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, shh. They're over there. And I was like, who's over there? He goes, the fucking Covenant. I was like, oh my God. He fucking like grabs, like brings his fist up towards his mouth and like grabs with his teeth this pin. And he pulls his hand back, and I was like, what do you have? And he goes, take cover. And he throws this fucking grenade, dude. He found a grenade that was like a prop or something inside my buddy's house and like chunks it. Oh my God. Like it was the best shit I've ever seen. Like by the end of the night, this dude is projectile vomiting everywhere. Ends up passing out in the bed of his truck till the next morning. Couldn't get him to move, dude. Like when Thor comes out, it's always going to be a good time.
That's the most like Oklahoman story I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's not going to happen anywhere else. I mean, right?
He passed out in the bed of his truck. I'm like, okay.
Well, that's what happened.
Yeah, you can't move him.
That's what happened at my 18th birthday. I don't know if you were there for that.
Probably not.
We had a bonfire out by the pond across from the middle school, and you have to drive back a ways, and then there was this big pond, and we had a bonfire, and all I remember is waking up the next morning in my older 88 red truck.
Yeah.
And it was raining, and I woke up, my windows were down, it was raining, everybody was gone. I guess I went off the deep end, and they just loaded me up in my truck and then left. I was like, what the fuck? They just left me out here.
The birthday boy?
Were you in the inside or in the bed?
I was in. They put me in the cab, but the windows were down, so it was just pouring rain inside my truck.
No.
Yeah, they just
Was there vomit all over like the bottom of the truck?
I don't remember. But that was
I have vomited on myself before. It's okay.
dude, I don't vomit on myself because as soon as I get done drinking and I'm at my house, like I take myself into the shower, I turn it on, just butt naked, lay down in the bottom of it, and I just stay there until the next morning. Because I get the body rolls going. Like it looks like
God.
somebody's got the Holy Spirit or like exercising me in the bottom of my wife hates it. And she'll come in there and like try and like pat me and ask me if I need anything. I'm like, go the fuck away, leave me alone. Like I don't want anybody to touch me like when I'm in that state. And she hates it.
Hashtag relationship goals.
Yeah, dude. I'm just like like I've got it just rolling. Like you could just see my whole body flopping. It's terrible. My brother, my younger brother, lives with us now. In this past New Year's, he's like, "Dude, I heard you all night long." Just he's like, were you yelling? I was like, "No, dude, I was throwing up." This is how I do it.
Could have released the demons, man. Hey, if you would have
Exactly.
smoked instead, that wouldn't happen. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like I'm gonna be that guy that the first time he smokes has like he foresees the rapture coming, like the devil's coming out of like Hell's Gate, like coming to get me. Like that's just what I imagine, so I don't ever do it.
Then you're gonna quit your job and start a cult and fucking kill yourself.
Mix up the
He's gonna be
Kool-Aid.
the star in Far Cry 6.
Yeah, he's fucking Joseph Seed, dude.
That's why I don't mess around with that shit.
I think that like right now it's still a little too early, but I think once it like becomes recreationally legal and like companies actually start like allowing it, not obviously showing up to work that way, but like allowing you to partake in it in your own time, I think at some point in your life you'll probably try it once.
Yeah, like if it gets to the point to where it's recreational use here, and like my job is not at jeopardy to do it, like I'll try it. I mean, I'm not gonna like smoke a whole bowl or.
Oh, dude, you don't. It's a lot different than like when I first got high the first time. I was like, so what am I gonna have to like smoke a whole blunt or something? It's like, no, dude, you just take one puff and you're just like, oh my god. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sure, there's going to be a stigma around it for a little bit. I mean, we're still in the medical stage and like the early stages of it too. Like you're probably like, I don't know. I haven't been like here. I don't think that we have any shops opened up yet, but I think like just now is probably the earliest, maybe like the beginning of January is going to be the earliest that you see anything hitting stores anyway, because everything has to be grown here, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so like from the time that it came into being legal, so like seed to harvest, I mean it takes time, right? I mean there's ways to speed it up, and certain strains flower faster than others, but we're just now going to be like kind of in that threshold of when it starts hitting the shelves and starts coming out, and like so I think over the next several years as it's there, and I think that some of that social stigma will start to dissipate and fade away, and it's not going to be looked at any different than drinking a beer.
Which it shouldn't be, I don't think, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, that one thing I noticed on your Twitter is you're powered by Tecate.
Oh, of course. Yes,
is that what he's drinking right now?
Is that what you're drinking right now?
It absolutely is.
I was telling a Sin, I was like, it's the Budweiser of Mexican beers. Like that's the best way I can put it.
So like when I drink imports, like I really like Tecates, like sloppy Tecates in particular. But when I drink domestic, I drink Miller High Life. Because it's the champagne of beers,
dude.
That's exactly right. But I love Tecate a lot. I wish that Tecate, if you're listening, I could really use a sponsorship. Okay, I put a lot of money into you guys every month. But I really do. I love it. A little lime in it. Oh my God. I'm like, there's this place, like quite literally, this is really legit. But 2 blocks away is a Mexican joint from my house, and it's like you go through like neighborhoods to get there.
Nice.
So like no highway or anything like that. I can go there and just get loaded up on sloppy Ducatis, just like perp and swerve my way back to my house. And and it works out great for me. Like I love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like Mexican beers. Like I like Coronas. I like I don't know if you've tried Sol.
Sol's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love Sol. Like they have some good beers, but I've never tried Tecate. So
really, yeah, it's really good, man. Like especially like I recommend trying it the first. Do you like? Do you ever get them sloppy with the lime around it and everything?
I mean Coronas. Yeah,
Coronas. Well, a lot of places, if you go to any Mexican restaurants, a lot of them will carry Tecate, and if you get one sloppy, dude, it'll change your life. Like you'll put that Corona down, you won't touch it again. Like they actually, it's like since they've done this, like I mean, we're in the same state, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
when they came through and they did the 6-point beer and everything, like a lot of our stores started like expanding like what they kept.
Right.
So like actually the closest convenience store to me now carries Soul, and I was so happy to see it. Like I tried it for the first time in Vegas about a year ago. And ever since then, dude, it's one of my favorite imports.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Mexican beers. I can't say that about a lot of European beers. I just not feeling
Dude,
it.
I remember when you were on this whole kick a long time ago about Foster's. And we
it
finally
wasn't Foster's. It was it wasn't Foster's. I know that. I just can't think of it right now. It was another F.
Was
name.
it? I thought it was Foster's.
No, because Foster's is the Aussie beer.
Well, the one that they don't drink.
Right.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was then. I thought it was Foster's, but I guess I'm wrong.
What are some European beers?
Well, like I'm saying, like the mainstream, like Heineken, Guinness. Like I don't like a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Craft beers are the way to go, boys.
I hate like all of those.
Craft beers, let me tell you.
Are you a craft beer guy?
I was until I had a kidney stone, and I'll never drink a carbonated beverage again. But yeah, I was a craft beer connoisseur. Like, I'm trying to think of where you are in reference to some of the places. But like Oklahoma City has a really good brewery. Tulsa has been popping up breweries left and right like AIDS. Like they're everywhere. Like we have them almost, I want to say we have 4 or 5 here now. And it's just so, going to the breweries and sitting down and having a drink there, like the beer tastes so good, and you only need 1 or 2, and then you're bumping and swerving your way home, and that's all it takes. Like,
oh, man.
it's nice because you're sipping on like 12-15% beers, and you only need 1 or 2 of them. They're hella expensive though, so it's about the same price.
I just struggle with craft beers because I'm not a big IPA guy. So I don't like a lot of like hoppiness to my beer.
Whenever I talk to people about craft beers, the first thing they say is IPAs. I don't really like IPAs either. Like IPAs are okay, but you have so many other things. You've got saisons. You have your triples, your quads. There's so many different types of beers out there that I didn't know existed until I got hooked up with these hop heads at work and then started going to the breweries. And once I started actually having craft beers that weren't IPAs, like my mind was blown. They have, there's one here close called Cabin Boys. It has a quad called Beer to the Theologian. It's literally hands down the best beer I've ever tasted. It's so good. And I'm kind of sad that I'll never drink again. Like I've literally, since Monday, water. That's it. I'm never drinking carbonation again.
See, I was thinking like that's probably what helped me like get mine through with no pain was all the Miller High Life.
That's actually what a guy at work said. He's like, I've never had a kidney stone. He walked around, started knocking on. He's like, I drink too much Coors Light. I was like, oh my god.
Exactly what it is. It's all those craft beers you've been drinking, dude. You need to go over to the light beers, man. You need to chill it out for a minute.
I don't know. I've been going through all these tests and crap lately. I'm done. I don't care. It's not worth it anymore.
I tried a sour beer for the first time.
Like a sour mash?
I don't know. I really don't know what I'm talking about here. Like, it was called a sour. Like
Uh-huh.
I'd been hearing about these sours. I don't know how they're made,
They're
et cetera,
terrible.
but they are quite terrible.
Yeah.
Yes, because I mean, it literally. I mean, like this is gonna sound really stupid saying it out loud, right? But it's pretty damn sour.
Yeah.
And like I know a lot of people that love them though, and so I figured, you know what, I'll give it a try. You know, I don't really know what they're about. And yeah, they're way too tangy for this guy.
It tastes like fermented juice, like is what it tastes like to me. Like they
Absolutely.
left a bottle of peach juice sitting outside in the summer for like 5 months, capped it up, poured it out for you to drink. Like that's literally what it tastes like. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like a liquid warhead, dude.
It's so
I
bad.
don't want any of it, dude. It's like a warhead with hops thrown into it. Like it's a disgusting
Ugh,
combination.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been looking up this thing this whole time because it's gonna bother me. It's Fuller's. That's what I was.
Oh my god, he's been sitting back there searching the web.
Yeah, it wasn't Foster's. It was Fuller's, and yeah, I really liked it. I don't know where I had it. I think it was when I was in Bulgaria. Like I tried a Fuller's, and I was like, this is pretty fucking good. And then I came back here and tried it. I'm like, this tastes like dog shit. So I mean, there is a difference. Like I haven't tried it, but like a Heineken tastes different in Germany than it does here. So, you know, like maybe I'd like it there.
There's also that social aspect of drinking. Whenever I go to a bar or I go to the brewery, the beer always tastes better when I'm sitting there with friends than when I'm drinking it by myself. That's just me. But
So why do you always have me try your shitty fucking imperial stouts and shit like at home when there's no one else around? So I'm like, this tastes like I'm drinking tree bark.
Because I just want you to try it. It's sad we'll never get to enjoy an actual beer together because I gave it up.
You gave it up. Well, for now, you did. Like you'll forget about that pain eventually.
Yeah.
You'll slide back into it.
Yeah, after I had ear surgery, I was like, I'm never gonna get ear surgery ever again. But you know, now I'm thinking about it.
Now here I am again. You know, like really thinking about.
I don't remember the pain.
Well, 35 minutes into the episode, you actually want to introduce who we're talking to?
No.
No.
It's we're here with CasualLuxury, which is a Twitch streamer, which we already introduced him in the intro that we haven't done yet. But
yeah, you right.
God, fucking idiot, dude.
Hey, come on. I'm producing content here, okay?
I'm wondering, how did you come up with that name, CasualLuxury? Like, it's dope. I like it.
I had a feeling this question was coming. Because everyone asks me this when they meet me. Like everyone asks me this question. You know, the story's pretty lame, to be honest about it.
That's what makes it good.
It's actually like slightly embarrassing. Like it's I say it's slightly embarrassing, but like it's not exciting at all. So like we graduated around the same time, right? And so was Bebo a thing for you guys?
What?
You remember Bebo, kind of like MySpace?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I never used it.
It was like a knockoff MySpace. It was like more of an animated, like easy way to edit your page without actually having to find the HTML and CSS code from places.
Yeah.
Right.
And anyway, like it was a popular thing. And I was in junior high at the time. It was either like late elementary school, early junior high, somewhere in that age range. And I was scrolling through like Bebo one day, and they had like a similar thing to Facebook, like people you may know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling through there, dude, and I see this chick, and she is banging, dude. And I was like, oh my God, who is this, dude? And I click on her page. And at the top, she's got this banner across the top, and it says CasualLuxury on it. And I was like, oh shit, that is dope. And you are smoking hot. I was like, guess what? I'm copping that shit. I went and changed my Xbox Live name like the next day, gamertag swap.
Yanked.
And I'm just here to say, like, I'm pretty sure that she hasn't used that name since, and I've had it for like the past 16 years. So she can get off of it. It's mine.
Forfeited.
Forfeited.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, that's how I came across the name. It's super stupid. I stole it from somebody like 16 years ago, but I've been rocking it for 16 years, and I ain't giving it.
It's yours now, dude. You own that shit.
That's right.
No, I don't think that's stupid. It's kind of like fucking Childish Gambino got it from like a name generator.
Yeah,
really?
Sure.
That's where you got that from?
Yeah. He like literally put in like one of those like little rap name generators, and that
That's
came
what
up.
it popped up as?
Yeah, and he was like, "I'm using it."
What? Where? That sounds like the Great Gambino. Isn't that something?
That's Babe Ruth, dude. You're
That's Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
You like baseball?
Dude, I didn't
welcome
put
to
2 and 2
baseball.
together.
Yeah. Welcome to baseball, dude.
Babe
Welcome
Ruth
to
was like
baseball, buddy.
my idol. Like that, I always wore number 3 for the longest time.
You're like, Babe Ruth, what the fuck? That's a candy bar.
That's messed up, dude.
Do they even make Babe Ruths anymore?
Yeah, dude.
They're still around?
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
called Baby Ruths, by the way. But
Oh, sorry.
Same thing. Tomato.
I don't think I've eaten a Baby Ruth since like 7th grade, like Halloween or some shit. It's been
good
so
to have
long.
in it.
They had them in the one of the vending machines at one of my jobs, dude, and I was a sucker for them.
I like the because Baby Ruths are chocolate with peanuts, right?
That's like 90% of the candy bars on the market.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. I mean, that could be like Snickers and like other shit too.
I get like Baby Ruths and Paydays mixed up. a
Paydays.
lot,
That's
dude.
what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
No, Paydays are dope too. I like
Paydays are
Paydays.
just peanuts and that fucking caramel, and that's it. Like, there's no
Yeah.
Oh, and
chocolate
it's
to it.
beautiful, dude.
So
It's
good.
Beautiful.
Okay, all right. You guys are on board because like all my life I've been made fun of because I like Paydays.
Paydays are good.
Oh,
Dude,
they're
they're
so
so good. It's like one of my
One of the
favorite candy
best.
bars.
Next to Reese's, like it's
salty nuts and caramel, dude. My favorite.
Dude, I'm the exact same as you. Like I would much rather, I mean, I'm fat, so I would much rather go back for seconds than like go get some cake or something. I'm not about sweets at all.
Yeah,
So
sure.
like Paydays, yeah, that salty like caramel is just that's so good.
No, it's amazing. Yeah. It's way better than a Babe Ruth or Baby Ruth, excuse me.
It's way better
way
than Babe
better than
Ruth.
Fucking cannibal. Eating.
It's way better than Bambino, man. Come on.
Bambino.
Yeah, Casual Luxury is way better than Childish Gambino.
For real
Yeah,
though.
come on. I had like a million fake stories too of like how I come across the name because I've been asked so many times, but I figured I'd give you the true one.
Dude, that reminds me. Okay, so like for all my life, my grandfather who's passed away now, so rest in peace. But all my life, like he had his middle toe on his foot missing,
What the fuck?
and all my life he told me that same story that he fought a bear, and I believed it. It was just a thing I believed because he just told me that story.
Uh-huh.
It's such
And-
a grandpa story.
What?
That's
Such a grandpa
I know
story.
it is, and I believed it, and then like at some point in my adulthood, I was like, "There's no fucking way."
Where did that story come from? I'm trying to tie something together with that for what we were talking about.
It was I don't even. It was like talking about
False stories.
yeah, false stories, like coming up with false stories for things,
Oh, gotcha.
and
We
I
were
don't.
talking about. Go ahead.
No, I was finished. Go ahead.
We were talking about like false stories the other day. Like we went to go see. We took my brother for his birthday, which was the 19th. We took him to go see. Oh my god, I can't remember his name now. Anyway, we took him to go see a comedian up in the city,
Hmm.
and we were talking like on the way home. Like my cab light, my car came on, and he was like, "Dude, you better turn that off before you get a ticket because we passed a cop." And I was like, "Dude, you know that's not really illegal, right?" He was like, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "That's just some bullshit mom and dad used to tell us, dude. Look it up. That shit's not true." And he was like, "I thought that's real this whole time." I was like, "No, dude, that shit's not illegal."
I don't. Why would they even tell you that? Like, I don't get it.
Because we used to turn it on in the back and it'd get on their nerves.
Oh,
so they'd
during,
just
like,
tell us
trips and stuff?
bullshit. Like, we're going to get pulled over if you don't turn that off, you know? Dude, he's 28, dude, still believing it, man. 29 now, dude. 29 years, they got him.
Dude, I was today years old when I figured that out.
Yeah,
You
you're welcome.
literally just fucking taught me that because I still thought you would get a ticket for having
Oh
the cab
my
light on.
god.
Did your
Yeah.
parents tell you that? my
Yeah,
son?
yeah, they did.
Yeah, of course they did. They're all the same, dude.
It
They all
had
got
to-
these stories.
It had to have been an old law or something at some point.
Mm.
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so.
I think it just like whenever we would go on long road trips, like we'd always take books and stuff. and we would like flip the little light on in the back, and my dad would just yell at us to turn them off. Like even during the night, he's like, "It's reflecting in my glasses. I can't see." Like they never told us it was illegal. It's just annoying. Like I don't like it when I have to drive around at nighttime with my cab
Well, yeah,
lights
it's
on.
harder to see.
Right.
I mean, it's just
I think that's funny though. They told you it's illegal.
Yeah, like the cops are gonna come get you.
Well, it's not illegal. They were just like, you can get a ticket for that. Which I mean, I guess that means it's illegal. But like, illegal just makes it sound criminal. Like they're gonna fucking bend you over the hood and arrest you for that shit.
Sure.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Never mind.
Mrs. Officer.
I'll bend you over the hood, dude. So,
Mustache ride, bro.
Man, I want one. I want one.
I went one.
I want one. Oh man, was that Super Troopers reference?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Oh man,
By the way,
did you watch the second one?
I haven't seen it.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too. Like, it had a lot of Canadian jokes, obviously, because they were in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I'll have to
I think
watch
the
it.
first one was better, but
Yeah, it was, but I think it's hard to make that comparison. Like, I was talking to a guy last night about Halo, and like, it's just hard. Like when a company does something so well, or a production does something so well the first time, it's just kind of hard to trump it the second time, because the first time you experience it, like we make these like sentimental attachments with it, and I think it's just really hard to outdo it.
yeah.
I mean that's the whole Halo franchise though. Who was the original makers of Halo?
Bungie, yeah.
And were they with Microsoft at the time?
It's a good question.
I don't. They were with some company.
I believe they were Microsoft before Activision. Yeah.
Yeah, they were with some company. They made the game, and whenever they split away from whoever they were with, that company kept the rights to Halo, and supposedly that's why they haven't ever made another Halo game that was as good.
Well, it went to 343, and they've just shit on the franchise ever since. But
So it went from Bungie to a different company.
it went to 343 Studios.
So yeah, I think that's because they were with Microsoft. Microsoft let them split, but they wouldn't let them take the rights to Halo. And then the next
Correct.
company they gave it to just did shit.
Yeah, they wanted it to be Xbox exclusive, which it always was.
Right.
But now that Activision and Bungie split, there's still no chance of Bungie bringing back a Halo.
I know, because I think it's owned by Microsoft. I don't think it's owned
they
by
don't have
Bungie.
the rights anymore.
Oh, that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people were hoping for that, but
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, because you got to think, like, it stopped with Bungie at Halo 3.
mhm.
I believe that's correct.
And that's the last good one, in my opinion.
It's the last good one they fucking made. Yeah. So like for me, like Halo, like campaigns have always been good. Like I think that 343 has done a good job on the campaigns on all of them. I've loved and been attached to all of them throughout the whole series, throughout the whole saga is what they call it. But the multiplayer is where it gets dicey for me as an old washed up Halo player, and you're dreaming of the glory days, if you will,
Right.
a little bit. And like Halo Reach then on has been a failure in the multiplayer scene, in my opinion. And if you go look at Twitch right now, go pull it up tomorrow if you're thinking about it. Look at how many viewers there are in that game.
Zero.
It's like non-existent. Like I
Right.
stream it. Like I mean, and I'm one of the top 4 every time. Like that's a problem for that franchise. Like if you're listening, that's a problem for your franchise. And like they put out a lot of money because they're backed by Microsoft, and they fund these big tournaments and things to try to make it like stay somewhat relevant. And it's just not. Like it's just dying.
Is Reach the newest one?
No. So it went Halo 3, Reach, Halo 4.
Oh, wasn't
Halo
ODST in there somewhere?
Yeah, but that was like a campaign thing.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't a multiplayer. If you bought ODST, I think it was like Halo 4, Halo 3 or 4. One of the
Yeah, it's
two.
like in between Reach and 3.
Yeah, like I want to say it might have been like Halo 3 or Halo 4, whichever one it was. Like if you bought ODST, you got the multiplayer with all of the DLC map packs up to that point
Okay.
with it. So like it didn't have its own multiplayer, but like as far as multiplayer is concerned, it was Halo 3, I believe it was Reach, 4, 5, and that's where we're at today. And then 6, which is Halo Infinite, was announced at E3. So that'll be the next one. And like, it's going to be interesting to see like where they take that franchise from there. Like, I really hope that they kind of revert back to like boots on the ground a little bit more and get away from the sprinting, thruster packing, jetpacky bullshit that they've
Like Call of
added to the
Duty.
game. Yeah, because it's not Call
Right.
of Duty, and they've tried to follow that trend a little too much. And like, before I move on, let me just go ahead and say this: if it turns out it's a fucking battle royale, dude, I'm gonna riot in the streets because I'm very fearful of it. And
Right.
but I think they need to like revert back, because like if you look at like, say, like, you guys ever play RuneScape?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you haven't looked at the numbers, if you look at like current RuneScape, what I'll call retail current version, and then you look at old school, so old school versus retail RuneScape, like there is like quadruple the amount of daily logins and like active users on old school
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
in comparison to retail.
Especially since they
And
came
like,
out with the mobile app.
oh yeah, for sure. And I don't know if that's like if those analytics are included. They may be, but
right.
I mean, that's a good point. But I mean, when you look at that information, you look at that data, like that tells you like people don't like you like changing the game into what it shouldn't be. Like,
Right.
it's
Mhm.
okay to make additions and add stuff, but like don't completely like change the core mechanics of the game, because like once you do that, you start losing like all your following that you had. And I think that's where like Halo really like went awry. Like, a lot of people actually like Halo Reach, to my surprise. Like, I really hate it because of what they did to the franchise, adding in jetpacks and like thrusting and like sprinting and all these other abilities. I feel like you really like killed it with that, because you got away from what made Halo good
Right.
and what kept it really unique from other games. And like, if you look at like World of Warcraft as well, and like,
Yeah,
I played
listen
World
up,
of
Blizzard.
Warcraft since Burning Crusade. I started, so I didn't ever get to play Classic, but I started at the launch of Burning Crusade, the first expansion. So if you look, I think it'll be interesting to see what the numbers look like retail WoW versus
Classic when it comes out.
Classic WoW when that launches. I think that'll be a very interesting comparison to see on like how many logins that you're seeing one versus the other.
Yeah, I do. I don't think it will beat it out. Like, this is the thing. I played through Classic, and I still play WoW on and off. I have the whole time on and off, but I don't think people will remember it how they think they remember it playing it. Because like RuneScape, it's a little different. Maybe I haven't played the new RuneScape, so I don't know what it's like. But I think it's like a completely different game. While the new WoW, I mean, you can still see things that are, like you can still see things that came from Classic just because it's just the original game. But I don't know. I don't think Classic will be as successful as.
I think in the beginning it'll be a big thing, but I think it's going to die off rather quickly.
Isn't that all games nowadays, though?
Yeah, you're right.
I think it kind of has to, though, like at some point. I mean, and I'm more interested in like kind of like the first couple of months to see what it looks like. I mean, because obviously there's only so much content in Classic.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, how far are you going to take it? I mean, obviously they're going to be phasing in content. Like, obviously Molten Core is going to be available right off the get-go, and then they're going to start phasing in everything thereafter all the way up to Nax. And
then they're going to phase in BC, dude.
Dude, literally what they're going to do is they're going to end World of Warcraft and then let Classic replay through all the expansions all the way back to where they are now.
You think they will?
Absolutely. I guarantee it.
There will be people that play it.
Yeah, there will be people that continue to pay for it.
Yeah, there's going to be people that continue to pay for it.
I think like up until Lich King, like you could probably make that work, or Wrath of Lich King, but like, I don't know, there'll be a lot of people upset about it. And like, there's a lot of people like speculating and stuff. And I listened to a podcast completely based around Classic World of Warcraft. And I think it'll be interesting to see, because like a lot of the people that want this game to come out, they don't want you to touch shit about it. Like, give me 1.12 from back then, don't you touch a damn thing.
Right.
You know, then you have like these other people, like one of the big topics is, you know, are they going to put in like the dungeon finder, and like, are they going to put in achievements, like this, that, and the other? I mean, there's a million things that we could talk about like this segment, but you know, like a lot of them just want it back to what it was. But I really hope to see like maybe 343's head isn't so far up their ass that they look out and see that a lot of these games are going back to what made their games great. And there is a hardcore, I'm going to use the term hardcore player base that liked the game for what it was. And when you start really veering and making things easy and start really changing the core of the game, a lot of people don't want to play it no more. A lot of people don't want to play your game anymore. And I think Halo is one that it has zero presence on Twitch, which is a bad indicator for them because Twitch is a really big platform right now. Like, for God's sake, Fortnite's fucking big on it. You know what I mean? And what I would really, here's what I'd really like to see. I'd like to see them go back to more of a boots on the ground, get rid of thruster packs, get rid of bullshit like that, get that out of the game, and go back to more of a boots on the ground feel. And I would hope that Ninja may like it, because if you don't know, and anyone that's listening, if you don't know, Ninja is an old Halo pro.
Yeah.
And if he likes it, maybe, you know, Fortnite is eventually going to play itself out. Maybe he comes back and makes Halo Infinite his game. And if he does, he brings his following. That can be huge for Halo.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, dude, we've talked about this several times, just Nathan and I, where like we both think the only reason Fortnite is still at the top of their game is because all these streamers are playing it. But if like one day they were just like, you know, let's all go play other games, it will fall within like a month.
It already has. Like it's the decline has already started with Summit getting so big with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, and they're all switching over
and
to
like
Sea of
Tim
Thieves.
and all them are trying out Sea of Thieves and seeing that the community really enjoys it. Like there's gonna be a time where Fortnite falls off, and that's gonna be when the next big game comes out and all the streamers leave. Fortnite will plummet. Like it's going to die.
It has to at some point. It's just the question is, it's inevitable. The question is just when, how soon.
Well, it's gonna be soon, because that's why Epic is on the warpath stealing all these games from Valve right now. I don't know if you've seen the news with that. Like they yanked Division 2 from Valve, from Steam. They just snatched Metro Exodus like days before it's supposed to release. They pulled it off of Steam's platform, and Epic is going to be the one handling the launch.
Yeah, they're trying to save their own ass because they know Fortnite won't last.
They're seeing the decline of Fortnite, and they're trying to pull in these major titles to bring people to continue to stay with Epic. Like they see it. And so once you see the company starting to do these crazy power moves to keep themselves alive, you can tell their numbers are plummeting.
Sure. Do you guys play any MOBAs, by the way?
I used to play League quite a bit, but no.
Epic Games had a MOBA that I was playing that I bought the Founders Editions for. By the way, Epic, that was $120, you bastards.
Oh my god. Well, what was it called?
Dude, for the life of me, I can't think of it right now. Like, I've been trying to think of it before, like I said this, because you guys said Epic, and I was like, shit, what was that game that I played? I can't remember the name of it, but
Heroes of New Earth?
No.
Then I don't know.
It was a MOBA, but it was kind of like a top-down, like Smite, if you're kind of familiar with what Smite is and that camera angle.
Yeah.
It was kind of a top-down feel, like kind of like that, like not like super third person, just a little higher, like probably somewhere between like League of Legends and Smite, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But it had such good graphics. It was a beautiful game, dude. And they were like adding in like new characters pretty often. And the only thing that they really needed to tweak on the game itself was probably like their item system and like how they manage that, because they use like a card system, which was a little confusing. But that was going to be a super, super good game. I was playing the shit out of it. And then I get an email one day like, hey, look, we need to concentrate our efforts on Fortnite. Sorry, sucks to suck, but we're discontinuing this game. The one upside to it is they did something that was pretty neat that I thought is they took what they said they were going to do. I don't know if they've done it, but they said they were going to take everything they had for the game, all of the models and everything, and they were going to put them on the internet for free.
Huh.
So if somebody maybe wants to take it and run with it, you know, it's going to be out there. But
Paragon is what it's called.
Paragons, exactly. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun, but they completely quit on it to concentrate on Fortnite. So they're literally putting like all their eggs in one basket. And I think now they're kind of like, hitting that point where they kind of got to punt,
Yep.
and it's kind of like, shit, this isn't going to last forever. What do we do? Because like you said, it is very well sitting on the shoulders of Ninja and Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tap Man and the Phase guys. And I forget that other damn Phase guy's name that's always like number 2 on the Twitch leaderboards. But those guys are what? Who?
Tfue? Is that Phase?
No. It's
Cloak.
like,
Cloak.
no,
maybe.
no. It's not Anthony. He goes by like a name. It's weird. He's like a really jacked guy, but anyway, like it's all propped up on their shoulders right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because between like between 10 of those guys, that is more than half of your Fortnite viewership.
It's probably 3/4 at least, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once that's gone, if those guys decide, hey, we're going to go play something else, dude, sorry, we've played your game every day for the past like 2 years, like we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, like, what are they going to do anymore?
Epic's going to put those streamers on payroll. Watch, you will see it.
Well, they're going to be on payroll.
Well, I mean, kind of, but they'll probably literally be paying them hourly to play their game on Twitch.
I mean, how many times
they're going to have to?
How many times do you want to bet that when you see a guy come in on one of their channels and drop 100 subs, 200 subs, that it's not a fucking Epic guy?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pure speculation. I'm talking out of my ass, but I'm just saying, it's very, very good and well could be the case. But at some point, these guys are going to say, like, don't get me wrong. And me and Kid Cisco have had this conversation more than one time, and we see eye to eye on a lot of different topics. And I've told him, I was like, dude, if I had to wake up every single day and play Fortnite for 8 hours a day, I don't know that I could do it. Now, granted, I
was about to say, if you had 500,000 a year,
just pulling in. But it would still, like, even at any amount of money, for me personally, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shit I could do for more than $20.
Right.
But it would still be a struggle for me to wake up every day and play a game that I don't necessarily enjoy anymore. Like, and just have to sit there and do it all day, every day. Like that, to me, like that's the definition of torture. And I would rather make less money and enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Than make a shit ton of money and be miserable every day because I have to do this.
I think Epic's gonna try, but I don't think anyone's gonna do it. Maybe the smaller streamers that can become the new Fortnite mainstream, like the main Fortnite streamers. Whoever comes after, like Tim and everyone leaves. But I don't think like if Tim got offered that, he wouldn't be like,
no, he wouldn't. If Epic is smart enough, they'll do what whatever Green does with the BRs. He'll build it up, sell it off to another company, and go make another one. Like that's what they should do. They need to sell it now while it's big, get all their money, and then go on to something else.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know that they'll have another one. I mean, like, I don't know that you'll see another game blow up like Fortnite did for a while. I mean, like those just don't come that often.
I think there will be. There always is, and one of the most impressive things over the years that I've noticed is League of Legends is always up there.
It is.
And like personally, I've had my gripes with the game on what's good, what's not, and I enjoyed it for a long time. And I can see why it's so popular. But it's crazy that like after all this time, it's always up there. Like, and these streamers are unheard of, really, to me. I mean, I know some of them are like pro players for pro teams and stuff, but they're just like unheard of people that just play it, and there's just a fuck ton of people playing it and watching it.
There are. I mean, I play League. I've played League since season 5. We're now starting season 9, and I mean, I'm a big fan, but it's like a lot of people say League's dying, but it's like number 2 on the Twitch leaderboards at all
it's
times.
It's not dying. Like, it'll never die. It's
just below Fortnite all the time. Like, I don't understand like where people are saying that the game's dying. It's still huge as far as the competitive scene goes, and a competitive platform. It's still there. Like, there is not a lot of games that bring me as much excitement to watch as League of Legends does. Like, it's just, if you play League and you understand League and how it works, it's just a fun game to watch at that high of a level.
True. It's true. Yeah. I don't. The last time I played was like season 3, and I was gold in season 3, and it's I played a little bit in season 4, and then since then I've played like a game maybe per season. So it's definitely
too much
changed.
going on for me.
It's definitely changed a lot over time. But we have hit an hour, and we're past when I was supposed to go into our random thought of the day segment. So we're gonna go into that now, and hopefully this deep ass question that Nathan thought of doesn't take another 20 minutes. So the random thought,
Random question, not a thought.
dude,
Dipwit.
I've been calling it random questions since like episode 18, and now I'm gonna say random thought because I'm a fucking simpleton. So this is completely random, but do you think time travel is legitimate? Like, do you think it's real or possible?
Like currently or like potentially?
No, like right now.
Oh, well, okay. I
Like,
was
do you
gonna say-
think time travel? There are people that can time travel right now.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
but
you.
hold on. Technically, people from the future could be time traveling back.
I think that there's a lot of
That's
different
true.
situations that we could speculate and that we could smoke a blunt and like really get into it. But I'm a realist, okay? I don't believe in
Yep.
Yeah.
ghosts. I don't believe in things that I can't see and touch and put in my hand. Like, so this is, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm not going to go into religion, but I'm not going to go there. So just understand, like, what I just said contradicts my faith, but like ghosts, I
Yeah.
don't believe in. Like, I don't think that can happen. I don't think like time travel is possible. I don't see it. Like, especially now. Like, obviously, I can't predict the future, and I can't predict like what scientific breakthroughs could change my mind. But like current state that we currently sit in now, I don't think there's any way.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible in the future either. Like, I don't believe there's a way that you can send a living creature through what would you call it, the space-time continuum? Like, I
Yeah.
don't think a living thing can
I
pass through something like that and make it out on the other side alive. Like that I don't think that's possible. That would be like shooting a person's soul through Ethernet and then it coming out and forming a human body. Like, I don't think that's possible.
Well, this is how you should imagine it. Imagine a hole at the top of a piece of paper and a hole at the bottom of the piece of paper, and then you fold that piece of paper in half, and you go through both holes at once.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that with time, dude.
How do you fold a piece of paper?
How do
Yeah.
you fold time?
Dude, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me. I'm just saying, like, that's how it's kind of explained in like Interstellar or in science, but I don't fucking know if that actually exists. I haven't been up there, you know.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, I guess like anything's possible, but like I'm a guy that I'm a realist, dude. You got to show it to me. You got to really like implant it into me. There's a lot of theories and stuff out there that I just don't believe in. If there's no data to back it, like you got a lot of convincing to do on this end with this guy.
all I'm saying is if they have any kind of knowledge on any of that kind of shit, let's get some teleportation going. Like, I'm tired of sitting in traffic and shit.
Yeah, Ford and GM aren't gonna let that shit fly. But
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like they got to get their piece.
Dude, they could make the new Ford teleportation device.
Yeah,
There you
but
go.
they get to make a hell of a lot more cars right now. You know what I mean?
True.
Oh man.
By the way, I got to point this out, like especially before we go to closing. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this is sin, but you sound like. Do you know who Dyrus is?
Yes.
You sound like a cross
Yeah.
between Dyrus and Tim the Tap Man,
What?
like a hybrid.
What?
For anyone
can
out there
see
who
it,
does not
yeah.
know who Dyrus is, and God forbid you don't know who Tim the Tap Man is, go listen to him and tell me I'm not right.
Dude,
I don't agree with the Tim part, but I do agree with Dyrus because he's like, dude, he's like almost monotonous in a way. He's just like, yeah.
Well, yeah, like yeah, he's very laid back and like yeah, I mean like
It's like
but-
he's high all the time.
yeah, sure. I mean, it definitely comes across that way. But I've listened to like 4 or 5 episodes of y'all's podcast now. I used to drive like when I worked in the city, an hour and a half
Mhm.
each way. So I was on the road for 3
Oof.
hours, and there's only so much radio you can do.
right?
So I
Yeah.
got really into podcasts, and Zaretta recommended y'all's podcast to me. And like the first episode I watched, is exactly what came to my mind.
I can see it. That's funny. I never thought of it until you said it. Now, whenever I see him, I'm going to think of Dyrus. That's going to be awesome.
Speaking of, I mean, whenever I did play League of Legends, that's one of my favorite players. So
Dyrus, yeah, dude. He's a hell of a top laner, dude. TSM, baby.
Yeah, good times. Good times. All right, man. Well, I had a ton of fun, man. I hope you did as well.
It was a blast.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. If people want to reach out to you, check out your Twitch channel, check out your Twitter. Where can they do that?
Yeah, you can Twitch. You can find me over at twitch.tv/CasualLuxury. And then Twitter is Twitter/CasualLuxuryTV.
There it is. All right. Well, we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't, we would love to hear your feedback, which can be sent to cold1podcast@gmail.com or leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us gauge how we can make this podcast better for your enjoyment. If you would like to contact us, you can do that through our email or follow us on social media, which is at Cold1Podcast for Twitter and Facebook. We are now on Spotify as well as most podcast apps in existence, but if you prefer to listen to it online, head on over to our website, actionsperminute.net, for the latest episodes, a link to the APM Network Discord, or to check out any of our APM sponsored streamers. And lastly, if you like what we do, tell your friends and spread the good word. Thank you again, and remember,